So, hi guys, I'm back with another session. So, we have our next speaker, Aditya Sharma. He's a product and visual designer in Amazon India. So, he believes in creating best user experience for for us or for the Amazon users. And the most important thing is he's a great advisor, as one of my friend has led to a great internship by his advice. So guys, please welcome Aditya Sharma. uh, Over to you, Aditya.
Thank you so much, Swati. So, hello everyone. A very good afternoon to all of you. So, it feels great to be part of such good talks and such good events that I've organized, keeping in mind that how we can build our community and how we can contribute to it. So, let's start. So, I guess you all are able to see my screen. Yes. So today we are going to talk about design thinking for UX design. So we'll be majorly talking about UX design today, and not majorly about UI design, because it is very much, it should be very much obvious that whatever product that we are designing, it should be usable and it should be obvious. It should not be something that user is uh, user is finding hard to understand, and in the same way that that makes the success of product, and that is a measure of success of some product. So that is why we think we talk about design thinking and UX design and design thinking are very much interrelated uh, to each other, and to let this know only we have organized this talk. So before starting, let's start with a little of my introduction, and then we'll be proceeding with this. So, as you all know, my name is Aditya Sharma, and I work as a visual designer and product designer at Amazon India. So I am into interaction design, creating micro interactions, and I'm exploring the verticals of social and commentary design. So this is a pretty little about myself. So, talking about how I started as a designer in Amazon India. So, I got this opportunity in Amazon as a customer service associate, and then I eventually stepped up, and then eventually got into the design role. So that is something I had loved. I loved my transition at Amazon, and I have got to learn many of things, and all that I have learned today, and all I discuss and tell people is the result of whatever things I have learned from time. So, talking about design thinking, before moving on to design thinking, let's know how do we create user centric products, because that is the main thing that we are striving for. Not so before even thinking about design or anything, we always try to make products in a way that it is it is it does have a great usability, and it is a very user centric product, so that we can ensure that it is a successful design or product that has been made. So how to create that? The answer has been given in the very next line, that we should create a product that is obvious to use, like I said before. So to create a product that is obvious to use, or uh, the product which the user doesn't feel unfamiliar with, so we do need to follow some steps, and before and to follow those steps, we think about design, for designing something, or finding some solutions, that how we can go about that. So that requires, and that includes plenty of processes and basics involved. The design basics that are all ranging from research, and then visual design guidelines and branding guidelines, that are that are variable, and depends on person to person, organization to organization. But what are the core principle and core elements of that? So to know that, we should learn about this design thinking. So what is exactly design thinking, and how does it connect itself with the UX design process? Talking about in any user experience of a product. So when we talk about UI and UX of a product, so we should always know that UX contribute to a larger part as compared to UI. Suppose we are talking about any app or any product that is existing in on Play Store, or any app that is already installed in our phone, and we are using that. So when that product has been whenever that product has been developed, so the major part of that include would have included a UX thinking process or a UX design process, as compared to the UI design process, because until the product you have created is not usable, or you have not it is not proven that it will serve a good usability, you cannot about thinking go cannot think about going ahead and design or develop that product. So why do we exactly follow this design thinking process and UX process? So the main idea behind this is creating and testing products, and creating testing our ideas even before we get that product into development. So that is the main idea behind this design thinking process and this UX process. Now when we talk about design thinking first, so let's see what exactly this design thinking is. Everyone is Most of the people in industry are exploring design thinking. Most of the people industry are there, who know about UX processes, and who know about how to create good UI designs, aesthetic UI designs, but don't really bother much about, but don't really bother about what is the design thinking, or they don't know the basics, that how a problem should be approached. So to know that, we have got to know about design thinking. So design thinking is not something very new. It has been existing from very long time in the design domain. Just the point that it has been into trend in recent times. So in very recent times, only like 2 3 years ago, we have got to introduce I would not say that we have been introduced to design thinking. I would rather say we have been reintroduced to design thinking, because it was existent before. So let's see what design thinking exactly is. So design thinking is basically, in a layman's idea, I would say design thinking is a framework for people who want to create solutions. So design thinking is very universal. Design thinking is not something that is only related to creating digital products, or uh, any website or UI design of an app. It is very universal, and it does apply to every point where you want to create any product or any service, or anything that you want to create for improving experience of users. So design thinking is applicable to each of that places. Now, what thinking mainly targets? So, design thinking mainly targets complex problems, which in which we are not sure how to start with creating the solutions and something and process like that. Because it is very obvious that as soon as you the problems which you see in the very start, it not is not something what it looks like when you start solving that. So to make this process a lot more easier, we take help of this design thinking process, because design thinking involves some set of phases in through which you can analyze and do your research and analyze, or based on the problem statement that you have been provided, and build your product or service upon that. And this brings to the point of quoting this, that design is more of a functionality and is focused to improve user experience. Why we say that? Because design is something that is always focused on creating solutions. Design is not about only aesthetics or only visuals that we see, or appeasing visual that we see in an app or any product. So design is a more of a functionality, and that is the main reason why we are learning about this design thinking process. So let's jump on to what design thinking can do for improving the better UX. So how do this? Starting with the design thinking for better UX. So how does it start? So it is very natural that UX design, talking about this UX designers, they are people who already know much about a design domain. But knowing about your domain is not enough. If you are not able to understand the problem of target audience or the user, if you are not able to understand the problem of user, then your knowledge, whatever you are creating, is of no use. Because at the end, what you will do, you will take that prototype and test on that audience. You will not test it on yourself. That is the main idea, and that is why we follow this process. And to find out and what is the idea behind finding the real problem. Because uh, let's say I am a layman person. I don't know about uh, I don't know much of design. So what would I do? Uh, I will explain the problem to someone as what I'm seeing only. I will not go very deep into that, and I will not be able to find the root cause of that problem. Because it is very it can be a possibility that whatever I am saying, whatever problem that I am stating, is not actually a problem, but the problem is different. And how what is the process that I need to follow to identify that? We do that by design thinking process. Now coming on to design thinking, when we talk about design thinking process, so design thinking process involves various steps. So as you can see from the image that is being displayed on the screen only, so design thinking process majorly involve five phases. It can vary about uh, in Symbiosis Institute of Management. So they follow this east process to tell or to make people learn about this design thinking process. So the process and the steps remains the same, but just the point that any two can be combined into one another. Like if we if you follow this ideology of this SIBM, that is Symbiosis Institute of Business Management, so they tell people that design thinking can be carried forward using east process, that is empathize, analyze, solve, and test. Here it is written empathize, define, ideate, prototype, and test. So this is a very iterative. So format can your process can be a little different, but the processes and the UX tools involved in those processes will remain the same, whatever approach you are following. If you are following the design thinking phases, you will eventually land, and you will eventually learn about using those tools only to carry out your design research process and carry out the UX design. So talking about these five phases, these are the sequential processes that are used to identify a problem, interact with the user, and know that what is the exact problem that he is facing, and based on that, defining the exact problem. Then, based on that problem statement, ideating solutions. Based on that ideation of solutions, we create a prototype, and then we take forward this testing process. So this is some five phases of design thinking phases which we can go on. Now talking about this empathize phase. So what does empathizing mainly means? So empathizing has certain goals uh, that is focused on in understanding users wants and needs, what user wants, what he needs, what are the things that he hates, or what are the things that he likes, what might we can do to make his or her life easier and more enjoyable, how proposed solution can be useful for them, and preventing any assumption before understanding the user. This is a very important point while empathizing, while we are carrying out the empathizing phase, because as a human it is our natural tendency that we frame assumptions before knowing people. So before starting the empathizing phase, you should consider that you don't judge the person who for whom you are creating the solution, for whom you are interviewing, so as the results or the inputs that you are generating from that user is not hindered by your beliefs and thoughts. Because as soon as you intervene into that thought process, so you will create solution, or you will state the problem statement based on your beliefs. If you intervene, you will at some point of time you will lose the idea that you are actually designing something, or you are actually solving the problem for a user. So that is something that you should keep in mind while carrying out the empathizing phase. And to carry this empathizing phase, we use various UX design tools that are interviews, empathy mapping, personas and extreme personas, field research, experience mapping, diary studies, and etc. and etc. These are some of the processes that I included here, but there are multiple more processes that are like, very contextual to the projects that we are carrying out, or the product development phase that we are carrying out. Suppose it might differ from project to project. For a smaller application, it can be a little short. For a shorter application, it can be some different tool. For a larger set of data, or larger set of people, it can be a little different thing. So that depends on project to project, or need to need. Most of the common and most of the starting point of the empathizing phase of the design thinking process or UX design process include the creation of personas and experience mapping. So these are the mandatory things that one should follow. Persona creation and experience mapping are the most commonly and most uh, frequently used UX tool for the empathizing phase. And most of and like we have discussed the five phases of design thinking process for UX. So there are times when empathizing and defining phase are combined into one another, and you will find most of the time that the tools that you will find in UX, the UX tool that you find in empathizing phase, you will find the same tools uh, in the second phase, that is defining phase. But the focus of both the phases are like different. First is only to understand the user's behavior, how the user behave towards a product, how user behaves towards a specific problem, how he approaches that, and how he takes that forward. To make this happen, or to understand that better, we start with creation of personas and extreme personas. Now, these are the very basic example of persona and experience mapping that I have created for one of my projects. So, this is the basic structure of a persona. You can add the things which have been included in the persona, which is given on the left hand side of my screen. Uh, is the basic thing that is to be included. The basic structure of a persona includes the name of a person, or the demographic, name of a person, age, what is his occupation, his demographics, whether he is educated or not, what is his behavior, his personality, his aspirations and goals, needs and goals, what is the pain points he's getting. So these are the basic things that you should include in a persona, and this is the very starting point. So when we talk about this persona thing, so we don't how we create that? Suppose you are creating a project, you are creating a UI design or a product design for any of your project. So how you will collate all the research data that you have collected. So what you will do, you will interview different persons, like you have interviewed 10, 20, 30, 40 persons, and what is the finding that you will get from those 40 or 50 findings? You will for sure find that uh, there would be a specific set of groups that will be created. Like you can get 4 or 5 groups who have similar mentality, similar type kind of behaviors, aspirations and frustrations. Yes. So so what we do, we don't create persona for those 50 and 40 or 50 people. Instead of that, what we do, we create that generic persona of a group, generic persona based on the group that has been created amongst the 40 or 50 people, and we take that as a reference person or a reference model for which we are creating the solution, and then we carry forward the process of understanding his experience. So this the persona is the basic detail. So that doesn't talk about what is the experience that is giving, at what point of time he's feeling emotionally high, or what is the point, or what is the activity in which he's actually uh, happy, and what is the activity he's actually feeling low. So for carrying that out, we create experience maps. These experience map have various names. You can call them customer journey maps, experience journey map, or simply journey maps. So what exactly is experience maps? They are they are a map of all the activities that is broken down. They are all set of activities that is broken down for, and that are included in a specific task. So for example, uh, a person is there a person is that you can clearly refer to the image that is being displayed on the screen. So what does it mean? What does experience journey maps, and how we can create that? So the starting point is of any experience map is, what is the actual problem that we are addressing. Suppose we had to improve the experience in a product, that we have to improve the checkout process in an e-commerce app or e-commerce website. So what we'll do, we will carry will will analyze the all the process from very start to end, from very start when a user lands on the page or lands on the application, and then carries out specific task and activities, and he finally checks out and orders a product. So what we do, we break that complete process down into small activities. Like you can clearly see, uh, uh, this experience map is targeted on a people, some people living in hilly terrains. So what is the process that they usually follow while they search for some jobs or some daily jobs? So I have broken it down into multiple activities. So he starts the day and researches for portrait tasks, finds the job, executing the job, completes the job, and returns to home. This is the specific experience that is going through to for accomplishing some specific goal or some specific task. So what customer journey map will help me? It will help me getting the insights of each activity. So what is the insights? What are the findings that we are getting from those activities? That when he starts his day for searching jobs. So what is the insight from that? Whether he's finding any difficulty in searching jobs, whether he goes to any specific place to find the job, how long he waits to find a specific jobs, and we'll record his emotions, whether he is feeling whether what are exactly his feelings during that process. Is he happy, or is it easier for him, or is it not easier for him? We track that using emotion, um, and we name that as emotional high and emotional lows. So, what and how this will help? This will help us in identifying that what is the actual areas from where we need to focus on to create solutions. That is something that will help us. And based on that, we will record what are the area of opportunity, and in improving that particular experience, in improving that particular uh, uh, job done, and we will identify and analyze that for the each of the activity that will include in the customer journey map or experience journey map. So this is the first phase that we have discussed. Now, after we have find out what is the actual what is the actual uh, cause, what is the actual thing that user is going through, and then uh, what are his feelings and what are the troubles that he is getting. Now we have to analyze and define the problem statement. Now, whatever findings we have done based on interviews or diary studies or customer journey maps or personas, we have only got this input from that very phase. We have not yet analyzed that. We are just collecting the inputs. Now, second phase is targeting. What second phase targets? It targets on analyzing those problems that we have found it in first phase, and then defining the actual problem, not the problem, not the problem that user is specifically telling. For example, I'm saying that I'm not able to check out on a specific app due to this very reason, but there might be a possibility that the reason what I am saying is the exact reason. It can be a different thing. So how will we find out? We'll find out in the second phase, why when we analyze those inputs that we have received from user. So we'll analyze the findings from first phase. We'll understand the actual cause of that problem. We'll find the root cause of problem, and then what is the end thing that we'll go on doing. We'll define the actual problem. What is the actual problem that user is facing? It might differ, it might be same, it might differ from the problem that he or she has stated. So what are UX tools that we can follow? We can we can analyze mental models for that. So talking about mental models, what are mental models? So mental models is something that is based on a user beliefs. Like you have some perception about a specific product, so that is your mental model towards that product. Like at earlier point of time, people told that Nokia is a very good phone. You should go buying only that phone, and as that is very rigid and that is hard to be broken. So that was a mental model that was being created in the people's mind. Because we cannot say that 100 people owning a Nokia mobile phone would have the same experience. We can say that only 60% of the people contributed to that belief, and 40% of those people contradicted from the fact that no, 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 this can be broken. But this is a generic perception that has been made. So that is something that is mental model. So we create solution based on mental models also. So the best example for that is the search box and the address bar of a Google Chrome. You will, I'm sure you all are using Google Chrome as a browser. So this is a very obvious thing that the place where you are typing any address for a website is the same place where you are searching for anything. Okay, so that result has come from the phase that Google has understood the mental model of people, that people when see the text box, their basic trigger is to search something. So they have integrated those address bars and search bar into one, so that people could use that in two-way method. So that is something mental models. Then what is the five by analysis? Five by analysis is a very good tool to find the actual root cause of the problem. Let's suppose some problem we identified some problem. Then what is the root cause of that problem? So we keep on asking why this problem arises, and whatever answer that we got, we again ask why this problem has been caused, and again till we find any concluding cause for those all those problems. So in that way we can find the root cause of that problem, which might differ from the thing that user has told us. And conflict of interest. So, and based on these conclusions, we frame a problem statement that yes, this is the exact problem statement that user is facing, and now we'll go forward using this problem statement, and then we'll start iterating with the solutions, and we'll frame the solutions based on the problem statement that we have defined in the second phase. Now, this includes experience map analysis. Like I already said, we will analyze that what are these insights from the job, and what are the area of opportunity that we can cater to the user in in terms of solutions that are projected to us. We have already discussed this five by analysis, and conflict contests are conflict. So we have already discussed five by analysis. Let's quickly go to conflict of interest. What is exactly conflict of interest? So it is used to find out the best outcome of possibilities and frame them from five analysis. So this comes after five I analysis. So there might be possibility, and there might be possibility that if option A is possible, option B is not possible, and if option B is possible, option A is not possible in any context. So how we can ensure that both of the options are possible? We can how we can frame a solution that brings the both of the best outcomes into the solution. So that is something conflict of interest. Now this is the third phase. The third phase is something that people love to, because involves generation of ideas. So whatever problem statement that we have framed till now, we'll use that to frame solutions. How we'll take that? So we'll take on this using provocation, brainstorming, worst possible idea, game storming, storyboarding, challenge assumption, brainwriting, prototype. So some of you might think that prototype is a very different phase. Why I have included prototype in this phase? Prototype, if you closely look at prototyping, that is also a ideation concept, because you only create you create prototype only if you that is you create prototype that is based on some idea. And if you are talking about idea, that should fall in all, that should also fall in ideation phase. So that is something uh, included. So these are the very basic UX tools. Brainstorming includes pitching in of all the possible solutions of that problems, without considering that what is the best thing and what is the worst thing. Just come up with the all possible solutions, even the weirdest of one, because you don't know what solution can work and what solution can bring out a great experience. The storyboarding is a very good idea. Storyboarding that helps us in identifying what are the different stages, or what will be the different stages in which user will be using the problem, and what is the future profit of building that product. So we take those ideation, we take the problem. So the basic overview of this phase is to take the problem statement and come up with all the possible ideas or all the possible solutions, without considering that whether this is bad or this is good. And then after we have got all those ideas, then we'll proceed with filtering them, what is the best possible thing that is that can be done, what is the best possible thing that can be done, and creating solutions based on that. Now comes the fourth phase, that is prototyping. So at till this point, till this point of time, what you have done is you have uh, you have empathized with the customer. You have find out what is his actual needs and his goals. You have analyzed those problems, and you have came up with problem statement. Now you have ideated all the possible solutions. Now, based on those possible solutions, you will create a prototype. All the filtered ideas, you will create some prototype based on that. You will create information architecture and flows based on that, and you will go on creating dummy screens with the help of tools or sketching, whatever you feel like doing. So in this phase, the UX design tools that are used, that are mainly used are paper prototyping, just sketching out all your mobile screens or web-based screens on a simple paper, so that you can quickly ideate and discuss that before moving on to the actual design process. Screen layouts, how the screens will be placed and how the layouts will be there in the screen. Low fidelity, low fee means low fidelity prototypes, and high fee means high fidelity prototypes. That I'll tell you just after the slide. This also includes wireframes and sitemaps as well. So these are the some of the terms that you would have came across and you should be knowing. Most of the people who are in this session might or might not, I would not say might not, I would say you must have heard about it. Even if I say that you don't know much about that, you should have heard about this. Now, so these are the things that are outcome from the prototype phase. That is paper prototype, low fidelity prototype, high fidelity prototype. So low fidelity and high fidelity prototype, what is the main difference? So low fidelity prototypes are just like paper sketches. just like paper sketches. No very big difference. Just that low fidelity prototypes can be designed in tools, UX tools like Adobe XD, and then Balsamic mockups, InVision Studio, that have a very lesser detail. So that have only a basic structure of the product, and not very much details are included in that. And as contradictory to that, high fidelity prototypes include much of the details as compared to low fidelity prototypes. Just the point that just point that they don't have interactions, and they are just dummy website or dummy application screens. That can be a possible solution. Apart from that, it can some prototyping tools can be interactive prototypes, but we should not go on creating interactive prototypes in this phase. We should follow that in UI design process, because at this point of time we are only generating ideas, and carrying out the research process to find out what is the best possible solution that we can go with before moving actually into the development phase. And last phase is the testing phase. Whatever outcome or whatever prototyping that you have created till now, now what you will do is you will test out those prototypes, and you will look for areas of improvement. You will find out new insights to improve design iteratively, because you design thinking as a UX design is a iterative process in which you find out the outcomes from uh, the outcomes from testing your prototype on people, and then creating that creating or retracing the solution again. So these include alpha beta testing, card sorting, eye tracking, phone interviews, session recordings, availability and accessibility testing. So this is one of a very good UX tool in the testing phase. The availability and accessibility. I would majorly put emphasis on accessibility testing, because we should we should target creating some products which are mainly focused and created keeping in mind all society, all sections of society, like the people who have the people who are color blind or have some basic impairments, how they will treat the application, or how will they treat the product. So that if you are considering that your product is going to be great. So as for the design thinking process, these are the five phases that we have discussed till now, that we generally follow in the UX design process. And I've mentioned all the UX tools that are included in that. And after that, we have created wireframes, and after that, all the outcome that is coming from this UX design phase, from the design thinking process, now we convert those ideas into actual application by applying visual design principles and some UX laws, and build on our product on that. So yes, this was pretty much from my side. So if you want to ask, so I know that I've been very I've been talking on non-stop. So over to you, Swati, and over to you, people, if you want any questions, or if you have any doubts regarding any point of discussion. So yeah, that was pretty much from my side. If you want to ask some question, and if you want to discuss some points, what was your interview process in? So, what was my interview process? So, like I said, I initially started in Amazon as a customer service associate. So, initially, didn't want to join Amazon as a customer service associate because I was much interested into design. But fortunately, I was lucky enough to first start my career as a customer service associate, and soon after 2 days of my joining, I got this opportunity to work as as a designer with design team. And then soon after I got my talent recognized, and then I got converted into a full-time design process and full-time designer. So that was pretty much of my journey in Amazon. So my selection in Amazon was on-campus placement mainly, but like I already said that it was majorly a customer service role. So I initially dropped that idea. I joined some design agency uh, at the very start, and later on, due to some personal reasons, I had to leave that job. And then for some time only, I never thought of uh, giving going that way. I just gave it a try that let's start for the time being, because as a fresher you as a fresher, what you feel that you are not having ample amount of opportunities, so let's go and stick with whatever opportunity you have. And then I was lucky enough that I landed into design role based on my previous experiences that I've earned as a freelancer, and then the opportunity and support I got from the Amazon colleagues and leadership. So that was a great journey.
Uh, Thank you so much, Aditya, for joining us. It was an amazing session, and yeah, thank you so much. We learned a lot from you, and thank you. Now,
Thank you so much, Swati. And I
so
thank all the GirlScript community too. And I congratulate them, and I want them to come up with some similar kind of events continuously, so that we can learn and contribute to that.
cool. Thank you so much, Aditya.
Thank you.
So
Yes,
let's end this session with this. And
yes.
cool.